Hey YouTube, it's Justin answering your questions from joincfe.com/knock. This question today comes from Rasik Raj. Is it advisable to learn more than one backend framework involving more than one language, like Django, Express.js, or Django and Ruby on Rails? I think what you're asking is, should you combine two backends together? Like, is it advisable to do that? Well, not really. You don't really need to have two backends. In fact, you pretty much only need to have one backend. One backend can power multiple front ends. So when I say front ends, I mean like a website. So you can use all sorts of things for a front end for a website, such as Angular or React. But then you can also use iOS or Android, so that is Objective-C, Swift, or Java, to have another front end system. There's other things that you can do with the front end that all rely on probably one single backend. Now, so it's not advisable to have multiple backends. There are rare examples as to when you would need to have multiple backends, and if you know that you need one, then you would know what you would need to do, but mainly you would have an API that would have your two backend servers communicating with each other. But more realistically, you would have one backend system for what you're building. That is really what you're going to want to work with. So it's not advisable to have multiple backends to accomplish the same thing, because Django or something like Ruby on Rails, they do the same thing. They like handle your data, they control your data to work with your database, and they handle a lot of the logic there. Also, a lot of the security that comes in with building a backend system. So those things that you would just want to stick with one. And as far as learning multiple, that is really going to be up to what you need to do, right? So if you're building a backend system and you need a really solid one, Django, in my opinion, is one of the best ones out there. Now, if you wanted to learn more just so you have a better understanding of what's out there, there's nothing wrong with that. But since we only have limited time and limited resources, learning one is probably the best thing. And then learning front-end technologies such as JavaScript like AngularJS or React.js or Swift for iOS or Java for Android. Those are the things that you would want to move towards. So having one backend system is really, really smart, or the way I would recommend that you go about doing it, and then learning front-end stuff versus trying to learn all of these different backend languages and also trying to learn front-end. Because once you know backend, you got that solved. Now the challenge is handling all the front-end stuff. Hopefully that answers your question. If you guys have other questions, definitely ask them in the comments of joincfe.com/knock. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.